In this lesson, we will talk about how to edit a text layer to reveal as the words in our audio are being spoken. Okay, so far we've learned a couple of ways to preview our audio, which is using that period key to just listen to the audio, or using the space bar to just watch the video, or using the 0 key to watch both at the same time. I want to show you a way to listen to and watch both at the same time without having to do an actual RAM preview. And that is simply to hold the control key while you scrub. So now we can hear audio as we're scrubbing through our video. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this down just so you can see that waveform. And then start there at the beginning and hold that control key as you scrub through.
Learn online. Wear what you want. We don't care.
So you'll notice that it sounded a little bit choppy, but we were able to really just regulate the speed that we're scrubbing through the audio and the video. So it's really great if you want to come in there and fine tune something as you're revealing, which is what we're going to be doing in this lesson. So I want to go ahead and type out the text that he's saying, learn online, wear what you want, we don't care. And then we'll set that text up just to kind of land here in the middle of our composition. So go ahead and just click there. We'll type in learn online, and then I'm going to go down on the next line and type in wear what you want, we don't care. Okay, so now I'm going to set this text a little bit. So I'm going to make this top level of text just a little bit larger than the bottom one. And just kind of set this up a little bit here. Maybe just make that a little bit smaller. And I want to kern this over just so that the beginning of the L is matching up with the edge of that W. So I'm going to hold down the Alt key and use my arrow key over to the left just to make that line up a little bit better. And so I'm going to just be okay with the way this text looks for now, just for the sake of this lesson, and not worry too much more about trying to set this up perfectly. But I am using that PFDIN font, again, the compressed one. So if you found earlier in the lessons that you didn't have that font and you just decided to use a condensed sans serif, you'll get similar results to what I'm creating here. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about editing this text so that it lines up with our audio. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close out the paragraph panel and the character panel for now, because I'm not going to be using those for the time being. And I'm just going to mostly be concerned about the audio and the text layer. So what I want to do is actually clip this text layer so it's not even really beginning until we get this little piece of audio coming in here. So just select your text layer, and we're going to do the Alt open bracket keyboard shortcut. So just that's going to clip that there. And then this is just about to the end of our comp, so don't worry about that extending too much further past that. So go ahead and twirl down your text options. And one of the text options we haven't talked about just for regular text layers yet is the source text property. So this is a keyable property where you can change what the text is saying, the colors of the text, all kinds of different things on a per keyframe basis. So what I want to do is reveal these words as they're being said. And what I've found works the best with an audio clip like this is I type out the words and then I key it in a backwards motion. So I'm going to start at the very end of it with the last word that he says being care. So let me just kind of show you what I mean. I'm going to use that control scrub method that we learned and just kind of start here at the end of the audio clip. So it looks like care begins right there where we kind of see that break in the audio. So what I'm going to do is right at that point with my current time indicator there, I'm going to go ahead and hit the stopwatch for my source text. So what this is saying is at this point in time, I want the text to look like this. And then I'm going to go backwards a little bit and we'll move to the next word.
We don't care. We don't.
And I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more. But what it looks like is right in between these two little peaks right there is where the word don't comes in. So I'm going to put my current time indicator right there. And then I'm going to come up here and grab my text tool again and actually delete the word care. So come in there and highlight that, and we'll just hit backspace to delete that. Then I'm going to grab my selection tool again, and I will show you what this looks like now. So I'm going to kind of scrub through that, and you'll see that care is revealing. Now I'm going to scrub it with the audio so that you can hear it as well.
We don't care. We don't care.
So care is being revealed as this keyframe is being hit. So if we do this kind of backwards like this, we're able to reveal all of those words just as they're being said. So I'm going to go through and do the rest of this a little bit more quickly, just so that we can get that whole sentence revealed, and you can practice as I'm doing this. So I'm just going to scrub through using the control key so I can hear the audio and know where I want to set these keyframes. So it looks like we is beginning right there. So I'm going to come back up here with my text tool, and I'll delete the word don't. And you'll notice that that's automatically setting those source text keyframes for me. And so that's a little bit helpful. Just when I begin to scrub away, if I've changed something, it sets a key for me. So it looks like want is kind of just right in there, just sort of added on to the you. So we'll go ahead and delete the we before that. Then I'll move backwards a little bit more. You looks like it's happening right there. So I'll delete want and then scrub backwards again. And it looks like I want to make sure that you is coming on at the right time. So I'm going to come back up. So it looks like you is right there. So what is kind of just really quickly said right there. So I'll go ahead and delete the you. And then where is going to be right there at the beginning. So it looks like he just said that pretty quickly. So that's why that was a little bit tricky. So then I'll delete what right there. And it looks like we actually want to delete where at that point as well. So that's just going to automatically overwrite that key. And sometimes this can get a little bit tricky. So what I want to happen on this key is to be able to see the word where what. And then here I want to still be able to see where. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this key and paste it there. So now I can see where what, and I'll just delete what at that point. And now it just says where. But before this, I'm going to have where gone. So really just at any point in between here, I can go ahead and delete where. And it'll set a key for that. And then let's move back to this bit of text here. And it looks like online is probably happening just across 2 syllables. So probably on is this part here, and then line is going to be this. So let's go ahead and scrub that.
Online.
So I'm going to reveal this over 2 syllables instead of putting online at just with 1 keyframe. So right there is where we want to be able to see line. So I'll delete that. And then we want to see on right about there. And then learn is only going to be 1 syllable, so I'll start that right at the beginning of that bit of text. Okay, so learn is going to be right there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and watch this and see if we did it correctly. And I'm just going to hit that 0 key to rain preview the video as well as the audio. So it looks like we have just a little bit of an issue here where the learn is not coming on at the right time. So we just have our keys off a little bit. So I'm just going to scoot this one back a little bit so that this text where we're not seeing anything is happening before learn comes on. So then this keyframe actually needs to come on right there. So it's going to sound like this.
Learn.
And then on needs to happen right there.
Online.
And so line needs to be right here. So it's going to just kind of needed to reorder those a little bit.
Learn online. Where would
And I'll scrub a little bit further.
you want? We don't care.
So that looks like that's matching up pretty well with what we've created so far. And so now we are pretty much ready to watch a RAM preview back of this. So I'll go ahead and set that off now. Okay, so that looks like that's coming together pretty well there. And so in this lesson, we learned how working backwards is the best method for editing a typed out piece of text to audio, as well as another previewing technique where we can actually hear the audio while we're scrubbing for a more fine-tuned type of preview.